So we really only have these 3 sutras on asanas, so that's it. Yamas and niyamas way more important. Now, limb number 4 is pranayama. Now, prana means breath or life force, and nayama means extension. So pranayama means extension of the breath, but also extension of the life force. Okay, so next week we'll start to study the story of Krishnamacharya, who is considered to be the father of modern yoga, and a super important yoga teacher that lived in the last century. And he used to say that once you are established in yoga asana or yoga postures, then you should begin to practice pranayama. Now, BKS Iyengar suggests to wait 6 months after having started asanas before moving on to pranayama, because when we rush into pranayama, our body might not be ready for sitting for so long if we haven't done enough postural yoga, and it's very hard to focus on the breath when you sit and all you can think of is how uncomfortable you are, right? Also, another reason is that through the asana practice, you already start to work on mindful breathing. And so most likely you can take longer inhales and exhales, and you are more mindful of your breath than somebody that has never done it before. So I'm not sure if any one of you has done ever like vipassana meditation, or you heard about it. So, okay. When we look at this 8 limbs, the vipassana meditation goes probably into the dharana section of the 8 limbs. So it's a meditation based on Buddhism, and pretty much it's a meditation that consists in 2 things. So you go to these retreats, 10 days retreats, where you have to leave your phone out and you cannot talk to your family, you cannot read books, you cannot use your phone, you cannot write. You wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and you just sit and meditate until you have a breakfast maybe at 8, and then you have another very light meal at 11. You don't talk to the people there, and you cannot even do eye contact, okay? So it's really extreme. You are alone by yourself for 10 days with no contact with the outside world and all that. You sit and meditate, and for the first 3 days, the meditation consists into feeling the hair coming in and out of the nostrils. And after 3 days, the meditation consists in feeling the sensation of the body from the top of the head down to the feet and back. So this is all you do for 10 days. Now, vipassana is becoming quite popular in the Western world. I know a lot of people and yoga teachers that do it. I did it myself when I was 25 only. So probably at the wildest time of my life. And I didn't really make a good use of it. I don't think I got so much out of it, besides from the fact that I was happy I survived it, because so many people just go nuts and, you know, like isolated from the rest of the world and alone with their thoughts for 10 days. It didn't quite work for me for a number of reasons. And I think one of them was probably my complete lack of body awareness, because I was not practicing yoga asana before, like when I did it. So I had no awareness of my body in difficult poses. Imagine how I can have awareness of my body in seated. I was just really uncomfortable, and because this was just like a torture to me, I was just thinking about other things the whole time. So I never could stop my mind from thinking. If anything, I thought so much that when I left, I sat down for a week and I wrote a book. Seriously, I wrote a book on all the stuff that I'd think about, because I had, you know, so many memories coming to me, and then so many thoughts about the future and things that I could say to my mother, my father. You know, of course, you think about your family and people around you. So my thoughts never stopped chasing me one moment. So to jump into a course like that without having an asana practice before, according to yoga itself, it's completely stupid, like literally, because you're jumping into step number 6 when you actually haven't really mastered the first 5 steps, right? The yamas and niyamas, which are kind of important, as I said, the ability to sit, which is asanas. And then before something like that, you need to practice other techniques, such as pranayama and pratyahara, before you can actually do that. So that kind of meditation that, is inspired by Buddhism, and likewise mindfulness, it's nice, but it's not the yogic path. Okay, and I have to repeat this because sometimes you might be wondering, why are we not doing mindful meditation with you? Because it's not yoga. Simple answer. Mindful meditation is a modern style of meditation that was invented by this guy called John Kabat-Zinn. So this is his website. So pretty much, he took quotes like Buddhist meditation, and it took the religious aspect out of it and created the mindful meditation. And other people jumped on board, and now mindfulness is everywhere, is all over the place, and it's a secular version of Buddhist meditation that pretty much consists in watching your thoughts, or watching your breath, having one object of meditation. In yogic terminology, we would call this dharana, okay? Concentration on one object. But the yogic path is different. If you're not established in postures, especially in the seated postures that you need to perform to sit in meditation, there is no point. The teacher is not going to put you into a dharana technique, or is not going to give you a pratyahara technique. So it needs to follow the steps, okay? To jump into mindfulness without having that preparation, you're pretty much bound to fail. And that's personally my experience. At 25, doing this experience that was so extreme, I didn't really get much out of it. I certainly got more out of starting to practice asana seriously and begin to study the whole path of yoga. So that's obviously my personal experience. Now, if you are interested into mindfulness, also you could read. There is a few books nowadays that have been published on the drawbacks of mindfulness. So, for example, there is this book called Mindfulness and Its Discontent that says that mindfulness as a technique is teaching you to be happy with what you have, to just observe situations without reacting. But it's not so good in terms of society. It's a weapon in the hands of ruthless capitalists to just tell people, workers, just be mindful, just breathe, and accept the situation you have. So there is this new criticism to mindfulness, that mindfulness is basically inviting everybody to accept the status quo, okay? So that's an interesting discussion if you are interested for your little thesis here, mindfulness and its discontent. So if you were wondering, why am I not teaching mindfulness in this course? It's because mindfulness is not a yogic technique. It comes from Buddhism, and Buddha was a yogi, but he invented his own thing, which is super interesting, and I recommend you look at it. I studied a lot of Buddhism at the university, but it's not yoga.